After introducing Sri Rama and giving a brief description about him, Narada left Valmiki and continued on his journey. Maharshi Valmiki, along with his disciples, went to the banks of Tamasa river. He sat there in the middle of the forest, thinking about what Narada told him about Sri Rama. While thinking so, he observed two cranes, male and female, happily spending time together playing. Valmiki felt very pleased seeing the happiness of the birds. But then suddenly a hunter hit the male bird with an arrow and killed it. Seeing the male bird suffering and dying, female bird cried pitifully and died, filled with sorrow and shock. Valmiki's heart melted at this sorrow filled sight. Seeing the hunter in the vicinity, Valmiki became very angry. Without thinking, he cried out at the hunter, "You will find no rest for the long years of eternity, for you killed a bird in love and unsuspecting." Though he said these words in sudden grief and rage, he immediately felt ashamed that such a learned person like himself lost control on his emotions and cursed the hunter who was only killing the bird for his food. He deeply repented on his impulsive words. Later, when sage Valmiki was thinking about what happened, he was surprised at the way the words came out of his mouth without much thinking in a beautiful pattern and meter. He called his disciple Bharadwaja and told him, "The words I spoke to the hunter came in a beautiful pattern of 4 lines. Such beauty and expression was possible only because of the deep grief and empathy I felt towards those birds. Without deep connection, such beautiful expression is not possible. Let this pattern, which evolved out of my sokha, be called sloka henceforth and be used for telling great stories." Emerging spontaneously from Valmiki's rage and grief, this is considered to be the first sloka in Sanskrit and Hindu literature. Later, sage Valmiki took bath in river Tamasa and returned to his ashram with his disciples. He sat down thinking about the sloka that came out of his mouth and the other events. Suddenly, he observed that Lord Brahma came down from his world. With astonishment, he welcomed Lord Brahma and worshipped him with utmost attention and devotion. Being the forefather of the whole universe, Brahma knew what is going on in the mind of Valmiki and spoke to him thus: "O the best among all sages, stop feeling bad about cursing the hunter. You may be feeling that you spoke those harsh words, but understand that they were actually my words. I made you say those words in preparation to taking up a greater responsibility. For the welfare of this world, everyone need to know about the great story of Rama, his qualities and his good deeds. Now is the time to write the life story of Rama and his Leelas in order to teach this world about the best way to live and conduct. Do not feel troubled as you do not know the full story of Rama. With my blessings, when time comes, you will automatically know the actual happenings in Rama's life and you will be able to write Ramayana with accuracy." Saying this, Lord Brahma got onto his swan and left for his world. Valmiki sat in meditation immediately with an interest to know all the details of Rama and his life. In his deep meditation, Valmiki came to know all the events of Rama's life in detail. With this knowledge, Valmiki composed the entire Ramayana with the blessings of Lord Brahma in the same pattern of sloka that he uttered before. As what he uttered before was the first sloka in Hindu literature, Valmiki is revered as the first poet or Adikavi and Ramayana the first kavya. Valmiki wrote Ramayana in 24,000 slokas. After writing this Mahakavya, Valmiki wanted to teach it to someone who can memorize and spread the story throughout the world. At that time, 2 of his young disciples called Lava and Kusha came before him and prostrated in reverence to him as per the tradition. They are the twins of Sita Devi, born when she was under the care of Valmiki Maharshi when she was exiled from Ayodhya by Rama to pacify the doubts of one of the citizens of Ayodhya. The 2 twins are very intelligent, superior scholars, and are well versed in Vedas. Their memory power is very strong and are blessed with a beautiful talent in music and singing. Both look just like their father. Seeing them, Valmiki instantly felt that both the twins are perfect for learning and spreading Ramayana among common people. Valmiki taught complete Ramayana to Lava and Kusha with utmost care and attention. Both of them also learnt it with utmost reverence and by hearted the whole epic. Under Valmiki's guidance, the twins sang the beautiful epic in the presence of learned scholars and great sages. Those who listened to the beautiful epic and the Leelas of Lord Rama were so filled with happiness and bliss. They praised the twins liberally and bestowed them with precious gifts. Sage Valmiki felt very happy seeing the response which the twins were able to get singing the great story of Rama. From then onwards, Lava and Kusha started touring the whole world singing Ramayana. When they reached Ayodhya, they mesmerized the citizens of Ayodhya with their beautiful singing and wonderful story of Rama. Finally, Sri Rama came to know about the two boys dressed like sages singing his story in the most beautiful manner in the streets of Ayodhya. With an interest to meet them and listen to what they have to offer, he invited them to his palace. But he could not recognize them. After honoring them suitably, he invited them to his court with an intention to hear the story they are singing along with his subjects and family. Rama observed that the twins showed some Kshatriya characteristics, though they were dressed like sages. He said to his brothers, "O best among the Raghuvamsa, please listen to the beautiful singing of these boys. Though these boys are dressed like sages, they are showing some characteristics which can only be seen in great emperors. Please listen to this story attentively, as I heard that it is filled with literary excellence and is pleasing to everyone who listens to it." Lava and Kusha started singing Ramayana in the most pleasant way possible. In a very short time, Rama and his brothers got so much immersed in the story that they forgot their surroundings. Listening to this story of the Maryada Purushottam Rama, who is deemed to be the best among all men, is like listening to the sweet stories of God Himself. Listening to this, a normal person can attain higher planes of self consciousness and can come out of the bondings of the physical world and achieve complete bliss. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu.